Chernobyl disconnected from power grid by Russia with no way to restore it.
Here's a summary of the article.
Russian forces have disconnected the Chernobyl nuclear power plant from the national grid, authorities in Ukraine have said. Ukrenergo, Ukraine's national nuclear energy company, said in a tweet, because of the military actions of the Russian occupiers, the nuclear power plant in Chernobyl was fully disconnected from the power grid. Officials said radioactive substances could be released from the plant because it cannot cool spent nuclear fuel after its power connection was severed. Russia took control of Chernobyl on the first day of the invasion and has since captured a second nuclear site, the biggest in Europe. Russian President Vladimir Putin has been accused of using nuclear blackmail to keep the international community from interfering with his invasion of Ukraine. More, Russia-Ukraine war, this is one of the scariest moments really when it comes to nuclear weapons, said Beatrice Fayon, who leads the international campaign to abolish nuclear weapons. Experts in the UK believe a nuclear war is unlikely, but that contingency plans must be made in case Putin launches a nuclear attack on Britain.
This post received a score of 48,000, with an upvote ratio of 84%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
It's really important to point out that the IAEA have said there is no critical impact on safety.
It does, but it also references how critical staff are to prevent disaster, and that the situation is worsening for staff, as well. So even without immediate critical safety concerns, it certainly seems to imply some level of safety concerns exist.
Absolutely, but the crucial thing is there is no immediate threat, something this article fails to mention. I am not saying there is nothing to worry about, but it is very clear that Putin is trying to lure the West into a conflict, and articles like this that are beating that war drum play into his hands. It's important to balance out the speculative alarmism with facts.
They want people to be dependent on oil, which with more nuclear fission and renewables we will start to wean off of. Less oil used, not totally off, but vastly less coal and oil used, that it threatens Russia's interest. Remember, Russia paid of the Germany PM or whatever to get rid of their nuclear power stations in favor of Russian oil. Increase cancer rate for everyone else because they went back to burning fossil fuel and coal instead, while needing that Russian oil.
Greater than remember, Russia paid of the Germany PM or whatever to get rid of their nuclear power stations in favor of Russian oil. The former German chancellor went to work for Russian oil, but they were paid to kill nuclear. We don't have evidence of it. What we do have evidence of is politicians pandering to an ignorant public. Merkel was down in the polls, and after Fukushima made the announcement they'd do away with it entirely, and the Green Party and others rejoiced. Germans in general gave her a boost in the polls from it, because they didn't understand the consequences and the government had every incentive not to educate them.
He didn't just go to work for Russian oil. He first got on the board of Nord Stream, then Rosneft, and recently nominated for Gazprom board. It's about the gas that Germany would need with their irrational energy transition that has seen them spend $600 billion to create one of Europe's dirtiest grids, butcher an ancient forest for their coal, export the rest of the gas and coal from Russia, financing a dictator and putting him in a political position that saw him confident enough to invade a country. More deaths on top of those already caused by avoidable emissions.
Still Shra, there is Gazprom guy, and he was in power before Merkel. Merkel was chancellor when the decision to exit nuclear was made post-Fukushima in 2011.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.